Alright, so when you get your console, it'll be all wrapped in blankets. I won't have these in here, but this is your box with your instructions for your Bluetooth. This is the container with the cartridge, and it tells you what needle to get if you ever need to get a new one. It's written right there, 865DS73. Here's your 30 feet of speaker cable to go from this console to that console. So I'm going to actually set this up as if you were setting it up at your house. Except I'm on wheels and you're not. First we're going to look at the back of the main unit. This is where you'll hook up your speaker jack to go to the other channel. This is your A/B switch. When you want to use the record player or when you want to use Bluetooth, you use this. It interrupts the signal and sends it to the amp. So the A is for phono, B is for Bluetooth. These wires will all be hooked up. You shouldn't have to worry about those. These three jacks over here you won't use. When you want to use this, you got to plug all three of these in, and we're going to do that right now. I think you know how to plug things in. Just in case you don't, they go like this. Ha ha ha. I'll make sure there's no dust or cobwebs on there. Alright, so I got this wrapped twice with a twisty. This takes off enough to use what you got to use. Just push this onto here. And the back of this unit just has a single speaker jack. The top doesn't open. Actually, it's got a double. I put a plug in there. You don't use that. This is the one you use. I think when all said and done, these would work best if it was side by side at your house. That's my own opinion. Another thing over here. Come on over here, zoom in on this, Nate. This is a switch. Whenever you want to play FM radio, put it in the up position. That will send the mono signal from the radio station to the other channel. It won't be stereo, but at least you'll have it out of both channels. If you want to play an AM station, you won't use that other amplifier at all. You'll still keep it in radio, but you won't turn the on-off switch, which is on the other side of this, that turns the other amp on that powers the other channel. You probably won't use AM often, but the AM tuner does work really well. The FM tuner I'm not so impressed with. If you want to play a record or Bluetooth, switch goes down. So we're going to play the radio first. Alright. We got a little finger grip here. Lift up on that. If you ever want to take this up a little further, just go like that. When you release it, it makes a click. Alright. So, here's your on-off switch dial for the other channel. So this is on-off. So when it is on, this becomes your treble, this becomes your bass for the other cabinet. This is your volume, and this becomes your master volume. So I call this the master volume, and you say, Dan, why do I have a volume here? It's actually called loudness. Hold on, I'm trying to get my cord situated so I can move this back. Alright. So I'm going to describe this first and then I'll do it. So when both amplifiers are on, and this is the other on-off, is right here. I'm going to turn these both off for now. Depending on whether you're on a radio station or playing a record, you shouldn't have to mess with this. But in the event you do, where it sounds like this cabinet's louder than that cabinet or vice versa, you use this volume only to get them at equal balance. Then you use this as your master. So we're going to turn the radio on. I said we would. There's radio. I've already got the switch in the up position, and I've got it on FM. But before I do that, we're going to put it in AM and only turn this unit on. This is your bass, this is your treble. There's an AM antenna inside this. It works pretty good. The FM antenna built in is not very good. I would recommend you have an aerial. Hook something up to the FM antenna, run it into your basement. If you got an antenna in your attic by chance, get it hooked up there. Sometimes you can hook up to your cable inputs, and that will give you a good signal as well. So remember, I said this is your master volume. This is your AM dial.
It's quite interesting.
This is your bass for this unit. Treble. And it only coming out of this. If I turn the other cabinet on, FM would go to that one while AM's going to this one. It would sound like very conflicting. So I'm going to put this on FM. FM AFC is automatic frequency control. AFC is so that you don't get static in between channels when you're tuning. I'm going to turn the other one on. I tend to keep my treble most of the way up and bass at whatever I deem sounds good. So I'm waiting for the other amplifier to warm up. Let's move back a little bit. Oh, you know why this won't work? Because I got to flip that switch. Well, maybe I don't. Let me think about this. Okay, that's on. So come on over here. So I'm going to turn the master volume up. I'm going to stand back and get equal volume between the two.
Sleep in, order out, and keep the radio on. It's the weekend. Let's do this. Rochester's new country.
Once I have them equal, now my master volume can work both of them at the same time. So it's a very sensitive FM tuner. It only has to go like a 90-degree rotation to get every single channel. So you got to really go slow. Oh, this sounds like doo-doo right now because I don't have it hooked up to a good antenna. I have an antenna hanging here. If I hook it up, it'll sound a lot better, just so you know. So, now we're going to play a record. Put it on phono. Now I'm going to tell you right now that the cartridge inside of here is not the same output as the old one was, and you can't get one with the same output. So this has a lesser output. So to get the same volume I just had on the radio, I'm going to have to turn the master up louder. So you got to remember that when you go back to play Bluetooth or when you go back to play your radio, that you don't have the volume up. So now I'm going to put the switch down to play a record. You know how to operate this. Your speed selector's over here. You got your reject here. 45 adapters over here. This has a mute switch in it. Oh, what do I gotta do? Okay, A switch. Now I'm gonna check the balance again. Stand back, Nate. So it's a little heavy here. balanced, then I can use this again.
There is always someone for each of us, they say, and to be my someone forever and a day.
Alright, so now we're going to do Bluetooth. I'm going to turn this off. Unlike your RCA and a lot of other consoles, when this turns off, it turns the amplifiers off. That's not the case with this technology. So you see the amplifiers are still on because you can see the light glowing here. So now we want to do Bluetooth. We keep it in phono. I switch it to B. Now, in order to sync your phone up to this, see the blue light back here? You got to press and hold this until it's blinking. Once it's blinking, it will, you can find it. It's findable. And once your phone does find it, the blinking will stop. You heard that little beep? That means my phone was hooked up to it. Because the video's going, I can't give you a demonstration. But at this point, you just press play on your phone and you'll be good to go. Again, adjust your balance like I showed you. Essentially, this is your balance, and it's not really a balance per se. All it's doing is making this amplifier louder or softer to equal the second channel amplifier. That's all there is to it. What else can I show you? Oh, so down here in the front, you got a lens there. That tells you the power's on. So I'm going to turn this unit off, and watch, it'll dim a little. See it's still on? That's the other amplifier that's still on. So come on up here, I'm going to turn that off, the inside ring. Watch down here again, Nate. And that's that. All you need is a doctorate degree to operate your console from 1958-59.